Now, first time submitting artist here on Music Mondays, but not a first time submitting artist to me. This is an artist known as PK or PK Estonia on a lot of social medias. PK is an alternative hip hop, alternative artist that is kind of unique. One of the last interviews that I did back in 2020 or 2019, I believe 2020. I didn't even take a break really. I just sort of slowed down interviewing. Like it wasn't like fucking 20 interviews a year. It was more like one or two a year. But regardless, PK was one of the last ones I did before I slowed down in terms of writing. PK was a super, super talented motherfucker. Of course, from Estonia, super big out in Estonia. Just has had like a decently successful career in terms of what's out there in Estonia, right? Because both realms are relatively different, just in terms of like media, like shit that's going on here in America, shit that's going on there in Estonia. Like shit's just popularity. Like there's just a lot of things that are pretty different, you know? So with that said, I believe PK reached out to me. Kind of a funny story. I'll tell a story, but I'll just try to keep it brief. PK messaged me, sent me like an unsolicited link one day or something like that. I don't know. He did something that just like it wasn't good, and I messaged him back, and I was like, "Yo, da 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 da, like you don't want to be doing that, this and the third." And PK was like super receptive of it because the most people like you tell them like they're doing something wrong and they're like, "Oh, go fuck yourself." You know what I mean? You tell somebody they're fucking up and like how they react is really like how you can tell about them. And PK was like, "Oh shit, really? Like I didn't know." Like da 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 da. And PK was super receptive about it, and I was like, "Damn, this guy like is kind of like trying to like understand like and like network and really get to know like underground and like the music and just like everything." So I was like, let's have a conversation. And push came to shove. We had a pretty successful interview. A lot of people enjoyed it because getting into the mind of somebody who's not an American creative is always really fun for somebody who's from America, right? You know, it's always really cool to be able to do that, and we don't get to do it often because of language barriers. One of us doesn't speak another language, or you know, sometimes it's pretty hard. Like the coolest experience, like to get to break down music and art with somebody like that. So I always liked the foreign interviews, like those for me as an American writer were always really some of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. Those were some of my favorites for sure. Just because they're so interested in us and we're so interested in them in terms of like music and media. And I feel like that exchange of things is so cool. You know what I mean? Like I really enjoyed that. So with all that said, PK dropped a track under our submission tweet, and they said my first alternative rock single is out now after spending half my life as a hip hop artist. The official video made by Kenneth. I'm not even going to pronounce that because I don't want to butcher it. We'll just call him Ken. And he's a videographer responsible for many mainstream media music videos in Estonia, produced by Harry Beats. Okay, let's fucking go. So we gotta go with the video. Like you guys know drill. Like we definitely gotta go with the video for sure, for sure. After a official video, I'm gonna keep it real. I haven't heard much from PK. It's been a little while since we did talk after our last interview. We did an interview. We kept up for a little while. I left the platform that I was involved with, took a break for a bit, managed a few artists, started my own platform, yada yada. You guys know the drill. I'll tell that story a different time. And here we are, man. And it looks like PK has been getting a lot of love, man. Drops February 21st of 2022 and got 2K views by now because this is the 28th. 111 likes after 8 official video. Let's get into it, man. No way. No way. It just ends like that? Yo. That was great. What the fuck? Okay, man. Okay. Let's break it down. Holy shit. It's been a while, like I said, since I've heard from PK, so that was really enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was wow. That was great. Definitely alternative rock, like he said. And I think he did really well. This was good. This was really, really fucking good. So of course, we're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme, and we're gonna talk about the visual, man, because the visual, wow, the visual. So, instrumental here is bar none one of the best, more alternative punk rock instrumentals I've heard. That's pretty modern, but doesn't like make it super like tries to be something it's not. This is just an instrumental that's for PK, or it's good. It's got its own. Mm, it's got its own space, you know? And I really feel like this instrumental is good on its own, so I like it a lot. So when you mix a PK with something like this, I definitely felt like it was only a matter of time until one of these tracks actually got a lot of traction. Am I saying that this is like the greatest punk alternative instrumental I've ever heard? No. But is it really, really fucking good? And do I think PK did it justice? Absolutely, I do. Shout out this producer, man. This instrumental's really crisp. I like the mix on it. I like the guitars on it a lot. The guitars on it are impressive, you know? Definitely another one of those things in production where it's a big hit or miss. You know, you could spend all day mixing a fucking guitar. You can ask any instrumentalist, you can ask any producer who uses them a lot. You know, you could spend it all day mixing one fucking guitar loop. You spend all day doing that shit. You really could. So, with that said, big fan of the instrumental here. 100% a fan. I really, really enjoyed this instrumental. Let's talk about vocals, man. A vocal mix is solid. Solid. I think PK has a solid fucking vocal mix for sure. I like the rawness that's left in the vocals, but I also like the so it almost makes his vocals electric, you know? I really like sort of the personality that whoever mixes his vocals gives. I really feel like there's just a lot of personality that comes with PK's vocals. Now, if we check this description here, I was kind of curious. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, cool. So, oh, and we got a bunch of lyrics in the description. Amazing, amazing. Good for him, dude. Good for him. Look at the new chapter. Let's go. A lot of love here. So the lyrics, awesome. A plus for that. Lots of people in the cast. Production assistant. The video came out great. Oh yeah, Harry Beats, BeatStars, fucking Harry Beats, bro. Let's go, Harry Beats, bro. You fucking snapped, Harry. Let's go, baby. But yeah, great beat choice on PK's part. And great mix by Harry, dude. Great fucking mix. I'm not sure if was there engineer credit here? No, so I'm assuming that it was either PK or whoever else did the mix on the track. But either way, excellent mix. Big fan of the vocals here for sure. It's like so crazy to say, but like it's so crazy because like PK's from Estonia, right? But like this could almost pass as like some like real fucking underground American shit. Like I like PK on this. I really do. Like you can hear like the pretty like heavy punk influence, but I like the way that PK flows on this. Like his cadence is nice. I like this a lot. I like this a lot cuz his tweet like sort of gives some like foreshadowing, right? Like, you know, I've made hip hop for like, you know, like a fucking decade of my life. Here I am, I'm making some alternative rock. I just put out my first track. Here it is. Like, and you really gotta go outside the box for this kind of shit, man. And I think he did a good job. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, not only is the writing good, but like the cadence on this is really, really fucking good. I think the hook is like one of the shining parts of this, as it is in most alternative types of music. I really think hooks are or even choruses are just pretty big shining parts. of tracks like this. But with that said, that doesn't take away from any of the verses that PK did right, though. His verses here are really fucking good. They keep in line with the whole party aspect. I always knew that PK was like definitely one of those people to play a lot of shows, go out a lot, and is just a pretty active person when it comes to their scene. So I like this. I like this style for PK a lot. I do. I do. I feel like After Eight's a pretty well written party song. I will say this is a good anthem. When it comes to a party, and you could see a DJ kicking this on, and the whole party really just having a really good time. To be honest. But I like the way that this is filmed too. But we'll talk about that in a minute. It's just so funny because this visual is so good. But overall theme of the song, definitely a party anthem, like I just said though. Overall, it's just a party anthem. And I wouldn't say just, but more so, it's just like a party anthem where it's like special to PK. This is a PK anthem, I'd say. Like, I wouldn't say it's like you should go read the Zomb Slays PK interview because if you haven't tried to understand who PK is a little bit, you would just assume, okay, yeah, just a party song about partying. But no, like, PK isn't some, like, Motley Crue rock star. Like, he's just a motherfucker that, like, you could see actually being, like, this visual. Like, this visual is pretty accurate for somebody like PK. So overall theme of the track is awesome. I think everything was really in line with each other. I think everything was relatively similar. That's for sure. Let's talk about this visual, man. I'm a huge fan of this. Huge fan of this visual. It's just I'm just thinking about all this now. It's just like cuz like PK is like on like the older side, right? Like so I'd say I'm not sure how old he is now at the time, but I'm pretty sure he says it in our interview. But he's definitely not 16, right? So I feel like this is like the perfect kind of vibe for PK. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I feel like this visual, like from what he told me at least, and when we spoke a lot, this just it rings true to what we talked about and like sort of like I like the POV where like right there for example, like where they get rolled up on by the police and everybody else dips out of the car and then the camera pans over to PK and he's just sort of like getting out of the whip and just like continuing with the track. And I feel like that's always been the sort of vibe that he's given off. You know what I mean? Like everybody else is dipping out and he's sort of continuing with everything else. And he's going back in the venue, you know what I mean? And he's doing this and he's doing that. I like this visual for PK a lot. And that's just the theme overall. But when we're going to talk about like the quality of this visual, the fucking quality, I could tell from like the amount of credits that were in the visual and in the description that it was not going to be some DIY shit. There's a decent amount of people involved here, and shout out PK for getting this all together for sure, because this definitely wasn't easy, or maybe wasn't easily done, or cheap for that matter. You know what I mean? Because everybody got to get paid too, right? So shout out PK for this, man. This is a really good quality visual. One of my favorite visuals of this year for sure, as far as what we've seen here on Music Mondays. I think there's only been like 3 or 4 that I've actually genuinely been like, oh yeah, that's a favorite of mine. So this is definitely one of them, for sure. So with that said, shout out PK, man. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much fucking love. Everybody go listen to After 8. Everybody go show PK some love, man. Follow PK on all social media, PK Estonia, on Twitter, Instagram. Follow him everywhere. Follow him everywhere. Really talented motherfucker. Really, really good guy. And just overall really friendly dude as well. So go show him some love. I'm pretty sure he just made his Twitter. His Twitter's brand new. So go show him some love. I'm sure he'll follow you back. Really good guy. So go show him some love, man. And of course, per usual, all artists featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description to the YouTube re-upload.